And welcome everyone to our show. This is Talking Tech with George and
Todd. What's up, guys? How you doing, Sarge? Good to see you. You're not too early. We're late, as usual. It's kind of the MO around here with me.
well, in your defense, I didn't help, so
Yeah, it's all right.
it's because I put I have two cameras. One camera, Jen sees me in, and the other camera you all see me in.
Yep.
And for OBS, I had to put the second camera because I recorded a video. Well, I had to take it back out so that OBS then releases that camera. So that now Todd, general hemorrhoid, pain in my butt, can see me.
I can see you. Yeah, I'd say we could just watch the stream to see you, but the delay is pretty extensive.
Oh, the delay on the stream is like 5 or 7 seconds, something ridiculous.
Well, it's weird. When I stream, it's usually like 30, 40, sometimes even a minute. So,
but it usually, the funny thing is it doesn't start out that way because I'm in your Discord.
right.
And, well, the times sometimes I'm in the Discord, sometimes I'm not. But there's times I'm in the Discord, there isn't that much time between I hear it here, then I hear it faintly. Yeah. But then it just progressively gets worse.
That's Twitch.
I
wish they'd up their game there.
Yeah. Well, let's get the party started. Okay, our first article. Now, you're not going for a new phone anytime soon, right?
Hell no. I'm hoping this phone lasts me another 5 years. I've been suckered into buying so many phones over the years, wasted so much money. The one I got does everything I needed to do.
Until you need more. How would you like a Black Shark 3 Pro? Is a massive gaming phone with beefy specs. It is beefy. It's 7.1 inches physical height. Yeah,
I mean, this one's pretty big. The one I got now, the Note 9, I think this is.
All right. It's got
a decent sized phone.
It's 1540p AM OLED display with 90 megahertz refresh rate.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, especially on a phone. 270 hertz touch sampling rate, so that's the rate it samples the screen when you move your finger around, so it can be very sensitive.
Right.
It's got a Snapdragon 865 processor, which that's one of the newer ones, if not.
I've always liked the Snapdragon processors. They've always been good.
8 gigabytes of operating system RAM, then 8 or 12 gigabytes, because there's two models. And then 256 gigabyte storage.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, dual cell 500 milliamp hour battery. With
what's the retail? $1,500.
You would think you're close, or no, you'd be surprised. But this is just 65 watt charging. Then it has, if you look here, it has 3 cameras on the back. If you can see that on the stream.
Yeah, what is that 3D stuff?
No, it's just 3 cameras. A 64, a 13, and a 5 megapixel camera on the back. And a front 20 megapixel selfie camera.
That's pretty decent. How much is it?
It starts at 4,699 yen.
Oh my! All right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, get out of here.
$675.
All right, but that's for starting. So by the time you get to the 12 gig, yeah, you're gonna be up there, probably $1,200, something like
Yeah,
that.
but this is from Xiaomi.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't, I don't think it'll be coming here.
Not anytime soon,
Nope.
because we're not going to be able to have it.
Mm-hmm. Now is that boasting 5G?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to have 5G.
Okay.
All right. And speaking of games, Doom Immortal will run up to 1,000 frames per second if your PC is up to it.
What monitor do we have that's got a refresh to that?
None.
So what's the point?
When I read this article, when I read it and I looked at it, I'm like, what the F's the point? Now, if I've watched, I'm sure if you've watched Apex Legends, the tournaments.
Sure.
Now, when they get near a column, you'll notice that the column goes down, comes over the right, goes down, comes over the right, comes down, and that's screen tearing. And it's because the graphics card is pumping out
Too much.
Yeah, it's pumping out about 300 frames per second,
Yeah.
and you're viewing it at 60, so
Yeah.
you get the 5 sections of screen tearing.
Well, you might. I mean, depends on the monitor, right? If it's a 70 hertz monitor, it runs at 60 frames, you would see that. What is the most we have right now? 240?
240, 244 in that range.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I mean, they built in technologies that you don't get screen tearing.
My best monitor only produces 144.
And I thought the monitor I have was 144, but it's a lowly 120.
Yeah, mine should be 144. It's an Asus. It's expensive.
Mine's it's
NVIDIA 3D Vision ready. Yeah. It's a pretty monitor.
Do you need the
But
special goggles?
to look at you right now, this camera, that it's weird how Skype just, I look at the stream and you're crystal clear, and I look at this and it looks like you are emitting rays of the sun out of your face. That, or it looks like you could use a tan to dull things out.
Well, I tried to warm myself up. I put a filter on.
No, but it looks great on the stream. But on what I'm looking at right now, it's like all I see is just a red hair and little eyes. That's it. The rest of you is gone. You're all
Oh,
messed out.
that is the second camera, because that's a Logitech C20
C20? A lot 920?
or
That's the camera
yeah,
I'm using.
920, yeah.
Yeah, I'm using a 920.
And it's older, so.
But what's your main cam that you're running? Because it looks really, really good.
The Logitech Brios 4K,
Oh, geez, it's definitely 4K. The quality's pretty good.
but it's actually only high def, 19.2 by 1080, because I'm running 19.2 by 1080 at 60 hertz.
I mean, I'm looking at the stream, so I can see the comparison, and even I look washed out in mine.
Oh,
I look like I'm in need of a tan.
I can fix that, and that doesn't take much at all to do. As soon as I find you, what the fuck do I find you?
Well, do you have filters on for like color correction and all that stuff?
Yeah, it actually did warm you up.
Yeah, it's weird. It looks like I have like maybe some blue light coming from the monitor that the camera's picking up off my face.
How's that? Warmed you up?
Now I look like I'm getting a sunburn. Let's go. A little redder. You can turn me like green if you wanted to.
That's too much.
That's definitely too much because the chair in the background is not that blue. That's neat that you can just sit there and manipulate it like that.
Yeah, that's the saturation. I get the hue. There you go.
Color wise, I'd say that's closer to real life.
There we go. Bunch, 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 bunch. Put you in a disco there.
That's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, that's just the saturation and hue.
Yeah.
Hue shift. So there you go. That about good?
Yeah, that looks good. Good enough. Good enough for me. I don't look like Casper anymore.
All right. Did you ever play Castlevania?
Yes, but it was a platformer back when I played it.
Well, yeah, it's 2D.
Like side-scrolling 2D. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the most beautiful side scrollers of all time is now available for $3 on iOS and Android, and it's Castlevania.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that was a throwback for sure.
Yeah, I've that's one of the games I used to play the hell out of on PS2,
Yeah.
and kind of want to get it, but it's a phone
It's
game.
funny when I first got my phones, like that, touchscreen phones. I was kind of into gaming on them, but now I don't see the point.
Yeah, not when you got this nice big monitor with the.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, it just doesn't seem to. It doesn't do it for me.
Oh, it doesn't do it for you.
No, it doesn't. No, it
Do
doesn't
it.
get my blood up.
But I thought that was pretty cool. That a lot of people that used to play
Yeah,
Castlevania because it was very popular.
sure,
Was a great game of its time.
sure. But I feel like it's one of those games where it's like you remember it fondly, and then you go and you play it again. Like I remember revisiting old games and playing them and being like, "What the hell is this piece of shit?" Like it almost ruined the memory for me because things have just they're so much better now. I've learned my lesson. I will not go back and play a game that I used to love and still think fondly of because if I play it now, it's just like, yeah, this is a piece of shit. Why did I ever like it?
Oh, Badgers in the chat says, "Hey, hey,"
What's up, Bagel?
or
How you doing,
Bagel.
brother?
Bagel.
Hey, Glitch. Bring back Time Crisis. Time Crisis was fun. But I remember playing Time Crisis literally at arcades. Like stepping on the pedal and stuff, where you could like duck in and out of cover. Pretty sure it was the same game.
Bagel.
Bagel is fine.
Fine. Okay.
Shadow of the Beast. I don't remember that.
Oh, I remember that was like one of the. It was from Psygnosis.
I can't remember the name of the game, but it was like a vampire game on PlayStation, and you had to run around, Omen something, Legacy of Kain maybe, and I think that's what it was, Legacy of Kain, and I remember loving it, and then I played it again. I'm like, yeah, this thing sucked.
Well, I just fell in love with Glitchy because he apparently is an Amiga fan, or maybe had one at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here I'll give you my history. Well, it's for everyone out there.
I don't even have a disc drive anymore, but I saw this on eBay and I bought it. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Return Fire 2.
Yeah, man. I used to love this. When I first played this game, it was on a different system. It wasn't even a PC game. It was 3DO, which was a short-lived system back in the day. I believe that's what it was called, a 3DO.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was one of the first video games I ever played as a kid that I just got super, super addicted to. And pretty much the premise is like capture the flag. But you have like tanks and I think there's helicopters maybe. Well, tanks, the Jeep's amphibious. You can like blow up the bridges so then your counterparts can't use their tanks. And it was just so much fun. So I have it, and I kind of need to get a CD drive to see if I can even still play this old game. It'd be cool to stream, because that's a throwback. I'm hoping that's not going to be one of the ones where I go back and play it. I'm like, what is this piece of shit?
Yeah, that's probably the way it's going to end up.
But right now I have this like visual reminder. I just have it sitting here, and it's neat that you brought that up, because it's been sitting there since I had my original PC before this new one that I got last year.
Well, when I started in computers, I started with like a Timex Sinclair 1000, and yeah, you'll have to look it up. I went through Commodore VIC-20, 64, 128, Commodore Amiga 1000, 2000, 3000, and 4000.
Yeah.
And then then at the time I bought an E-machines, and at the time they were just called clones.
Yeah. There's just so many different video game systems out. Like, I remember the ones that I had off the top of my head. I mean, obviously, the original Nintendo, the NES. I had an original Sega, the model before the Genesis. Like, it had huge controllers with, like, a huge ball in the center. It looked like a white cue ball off a pool table.
Mm-hmm.
And Sega Saturn. was a Sega CD. I had a Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. GameCube. I had a Nintendo 64. An Atari 2600. That was actually the very first system we ever had in the house growing up. And that had a tank game in it, but it was just like a top-down thing. And they little black controllers with just the joystick on top of the red button, and you would just steer around, fire back and forth at each other. It was a good time. Had Pong and all that stuff in it.
Now, did you have the 2600, or did you have the Atari that had the fake wood veneer
Fake
on
wood, I think.
Yeah,
fake wood veneer, I think.
Yeah, that was the original.
Yeah, that was the one that had Pong and stuff.
Yeah, and originally that was just called Atari. It wasn't even called anything else.
But I'm pretty sure we had an Atari 2600 after that one, and pretty sure that's the one we were playing the tank game on. But it could have been the original.
No,
but I do remember the fake wood finally, like it was literally like plastic wood that would peel off over time.
Sergeant Too Tiny, thank you for the host.
All I had was a stick.
Yeah. You told me your son plays Overwatch, right? Or no, not Overwatch.
He wants to. He plays Fortnite, but he wants to. He's bugging me to buy him Overwatch. I'm not buying it for him. I'll wait till the second one comes out.
You may want to do it.
Why?
Overwatch College Esports Series will award $40,000 in scholarships.
Yeah, but by the time he's playing, Overwatch will be dead. Planning to go to college. He's 6.
They grow up faster than you think.
I just think so will the games. They'll be on a whole other level, and Overwatch will be a distant memory. We'll be talking tech with George and Todd, and it'll be, instead of Castlevania, it'll be, this is available on cell phones now, Overwatch.
There you go. Now, last week we talked about the Xbox, was it SX?
I don't know, the new one that's coming out to
X Series X.
The specs are pretty impressive.
Yep.
For console.
Well, the PS5 and the PS5 Pro will be released this year.
They're doing that shit again.
Yeah. Well,
series, milk it for all it's worth. Why don't they?
Well, you know what? Microsoft's. They're thinking, now take this all with a big grain of salt, because it's all rumors.
It's all speculation, yeah.
Rumors at this point. But from what I understand, there's going to be 2 models of each.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be an Xbox X.
There's going to be the one they sell at a loss, and there's going to be the one they sucker people into buying that they're actually going to make money on. That's what it is.
Yeah. And the specs are going to be comparable, but I heard one thing that was odd. Is the low-end PS5, the graphics card is 9 teraflops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the low-end Xbox is going to be 4 teraflops. Now, that to me really didn't make any sense.
No, it sounds to me like PlayStation is going to kick the shit out of fucking Microsoft again.
I mean, I always played PlayStation, and the reason I stuck with PlayStation is because I didn't have to pay to play, buy.
But I also heard that if you get an Xbox, you can only stream on Mixer. That's what I heard. So.
Ooh, damn it. F that.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Well, Microsoft owns Mixer, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but
it's just the way things are going, man. You see all this other shit where they're like suing other companies, and yeah, man, the net neutrality thing going out the window.
Yeah. But, there should be, now I would leave this up to Twitch to develop, but I would think if there's the 360 store, that there's got to be like a Twitch app.
Oh, sure.
So you could load that in.
They'll find a way to block it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Before someone else first engineers it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Just free chat.
Oh, okay. So before yeah. But
Well, we'll see what happens. I think on the whatever the next big show is coming up, was it CES or
uh, uh, ESA is
ESA? The
E3.
next one, E3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when all this information will come out and won't be just speculation.
Well, guess what? That is our next story. Is that ESA says E3 2020 is still going ahead as planned.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's pretty ballsy? I mean, Grant.
No, where's it being held? Is it being held in like China or something? Like, where are they doing it this year?
It's in the United States. It doesn't say where. I think it's in Vegas.
Well, all the other shows and stuff that were over in China, that made sense that they canceled it with everything that was going on.
Well, the thing, it's not till May, and that you don't know that may be the height of the coronavirus season.
Yeah. But I heard warmer weather kills the virus, so that's what people are banking on. I mean, May, depending where they're having it.
Yeah,
probably all right.
I mean, hopefully they're right. Knocking on wood, I hope they're right, because we're going to get into that stuff a little later on with.
Yeah, we had Ebola scare, we had avian bird flu, Zika. Just come on, man. List it off the top of your head. How many times have you heard? Now we just got to do it with a big scary name.
Swine.
I drink that shit. It ain't that scary.
Oh, there was an article I forgot to put on. I hope you didn't buy any Corona stock.
No, the stock was declining.
Down an amazing 33%.
That's the indication of the IQ of the people that are out there investing.
That's the indication of the public at large, because
the lack thereof.
Because they were actually because their profits were down, which is why they dropped.
Yeah,
and it's they didn't meet their forecasted revenue because they had a drop in sales. Because
I don't know if it's that though. I mean,
that factored into it.
Historically speaking, booze companies in general always did well when the economy was shit. Like, it was always steady because people are just drinking it on the pain, man. And now things are good. So I can see I believe they pulled that one and put that out there in the media just because, coronavirus. But I would imagine that they probably weren't the only ones to drop in sales.
Well, here's the thing. Who thinks up these names for these viruses?
Who knows?
If they thought that maybe that we'll name this, this flu, the strain of flu, after a beer.
Well, Corona can go after whoever named it for, the drop in sales.
But have you been waiting hot and heavy for another NVIDIA graphics card?
No. I want mine to last forever. They're too fucking expensive, man. I don't want to be buying more shit.
Well, guess what? A massive NVIDIA graphics card just leaked. Could be the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080.
Well, they're asking as a question, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's true. But, where was I? I was reading it here. There's not that much information on it. I mean, there's quite a bit, but not like a ton. But essentially, it's one of those benchmark leaks.
Yeah.
Where something new popped up.
But they don't know who the manufacturer is or what card it is?
Well, no, they know who the manufacturer is because of the VIN.
Right.
Every component of your computer has a VIN number. And
right.
The beginning of the number denotes who the manufacturer is.
Or EIN number?
Yeah, EIN number. Yeah. Or that too. How about, would you be interested in getting a new computer?
I got to win the lottery first.
How about a $35 one?
No.
Maybe. Raspberry Pi 4 Linux computer gets twice the RAM and USB power fix, and it's the same $35. You know what a Raspberry Pi is, right?
It sounds like Android. All their firmware is named after like desserts. So it's something to do with that.
It's actually what it is. It's a computer. It is a full-fledged computer. It's only about that big. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It has RAM. It has dual HDMI outputs. It has a plug-in Ethernet and USBs. But the board's only that big. It's like a starter computer or a computer that only does like an automated task type thing. Like I could, everybody knows I have a smart home.
Right.
And I could actually run Linux on a Raspberry Pi and use Wine, which is it's a quote unquote. They don't. I'm just going to say it this way. Don't be mad at me. It's a Windows emulation. It allows you to run certain Windows software.
Right.
I could run then my software that actually runs my house, all from a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, that's cool if you're into that. I need more power though.
Well,
wouldn't have a use in my world.
I mean, your son might get a use out of it. It'd be something good for him to tinker with.
Maybe.
And it's $35. So if he breaks it,
at the age that he's at now, he would definitely break it. He's a bull in a china shop.
I mean, though, it's not like you invested several hundred or several $1,000s.
No, my kids are gonna have to wait till they get out of the house and get a fucking job. They want something that's several $1,000s. Not happening.
But and it's good for as Badger says in the chat. It's good for tinkering, and it would be good to get a way to introduce him into computers too.
Yeah. Right now, we're trying to get him to learn the guitar.
Wing, bing, 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 bing.
He's got this little toy electric one, but it's neat. It's probably got something similar to this board inside of it that you're talking about now. But he just touches the keys, and it's got like a thing that you strum, but there's no strings or anything. And you can actually play music on it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's learning some kind of White Stripes song or something he plays. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, going from low-tech to high-tech, we get the Pentagon promises to use artificial intelligence for good and not evil. Now, they've come up with these 5 pledges. What do you think they are coming from the Pentagon? No looking at the stream.
I don't want to think about it because it's bullshit.
Okay, well...
It all depends on who's running the Pentagon. What is your political affiliation? Because you're going to say it's not for evil, and somebody on the other side is going to look at you and be like, you're fucking psychotic. No. Well, that's evil.
You have the Asimov rules, or laws, and let me pull that up here real quick. That you have the 3 laws of robotics, right?
Yeah.
A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders conflict with the first law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Sounds pretty good, right?
I give you the Hippocratic Oath.
Well, I mean, it does sound very good. You know what I'm saying.
It's all bullshit.
Well, what do we have for the Pentagon's 5 pledges? Responsible, equitable, traceable, reliable, and of course, governable.
Yeah. Shut it down now. Skynet is on the way.
I mean, at least Asimov. I mean, Asimov was 75 years ago. But if you think about that, you think about those 3 laws, they make sense, right?
Sure.
That's what I was getting to. They make sense. That would be something or characteristics you would want to,
laws were made to be broken.
Well, that would be something that you would want to put in a robot.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to have those stupid 5 things.
And their AI?
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you went to see...
I hear you, Bagel. Bullshit indeed.
Yeah. When was the last time you went to see a movie?
Incredibles... Whatever the last Incredibles movie was, that's what we went to see.
Incredibles 2. That was
last year?
Okay. What if the Incredibles had... What if all the characters had iPhones? Would that maybe ruin...
It'd be an inferior movie.
Well...
I wasn't going to see it.
Well, that is to say, would you be able to tell the good guys from the bad guys?
Yeah, I see the headline.
Apple won't allow villains to use its products on screen. So, now, here's my question. What about when
but they got to pay for that product placement anyway, don't they? I mean, come on.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, but it is in their terms of service.
That's all right. It's the parody. Somebody says the iPair.
Well, and here's the thing.
Fair use.
If Apple says the bad guys can't have the iPhones, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do in a plot twist? Because you can't give the bad guy the iPhone. So he's going to be running the Android phone, right? And the good guy, maybe the good guy, has the Apple phone. Has the iPhone, right?
How the bad guy's going to get anything done, man? All these updates, they got to pay through the nose to get them fixed. Like, no.
Well,
no self-respecting villain's going to use an iPhone.
Well, like I said, now, during a plot twist is where the bad guy becomes the good guy. All of a sudden now the bad guy has the iPhone because he's now the good guy. And the good guy now has the Android phone.
I think they're running out of shit if that's what they got to put out for PR. Sounds like iPhone's really struggling.
Every second scene, F iTunes. But to Apple's credit, our next article, Apple has blocked Clearview AI's iPhone app for violating its rules.
This company has been in the headlines for the past 3 weeks, man.
Oh, yeah, and it's remember that leak that we talked about last week?
Yeah, or they got hacked?
Yeah, you know how much of the edge we were on talking about that?
Yeah.
Because more details have come out since. And it has been within the last couple of days that the list has come out. Now, if you remember, we first covered Clearview AI, they said that
their data was unbreachable, yada, yada, yada. Safer in their hands than anybody else's. Challenge accepted by hackers.
And that they were only a tool for law enforcement.
Yep.
Right? Well, guess who's on their list of customers? We'll get in that later.
Yeah.
That's the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But effectively what Apple's done is that they made it not a trusted app. So it's not available anymore on their app store. And if you try and force it in, it's still not going to run.
Yeah.
So, F Clearview. Now, there's the coronavirus has made its way to the United States. We had someone passed away in Washington State.
Yep.
Recently, condolences to the family. That's always sad, but this is a little frightening here, and that is Amazon employee at Seattle headquarters tested positive.
Yeah, that was the latest outbreak I heard.
Now, I'm going to say this way, and this is not, a snipe, but fortunately it was someone at the headquarters. Could you imagine if it was someone in the warehouse?
At a production facility? Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear
you. How fast would that spread?
Boxes, man.
Well, here's the thing. The thing that that I've always, I've always had, whatever employer I had, you always had like so many sick days. And once you're out of sick days, that's it. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, what are you going to do? You're going to try and work.
Going back to work.
Yeah, you're going to try or you're going to just try and work through it. Because at my workplace, if you called off, even if you were legitimately sick and had a doctor's excuse, they could give you points. And if you accrued too many points within within a year,
you were replaced. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd fire you. Of course, there were certain exceptions they made for, like we had a guy who had leukemia. So he was doing treatments and stuff, and he would need to call off, but that was, situational too. And I understand why employers do this type of thing, because you get people that, habitually call off for no reason. But to the same extent, I mean, hello?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to be a little bit more flexible, I think. Now, on a little lighter note, that was our Amazon story for this week, because that was the biggest story. We would all be doomed. Glitchy. Next story, AT&T TV hands-on nationwide service starts streaming at $50 a month for the first year. It's $93 for the second year, and you're tied into a 2-year contract. Wonder why they're kind of dumping, like we've covered. They're dumping their DirecTV. Oofed. When swine flu was rampant. Can you read that?
When swine flu was rampant, we had a direction from the chief medical officer of our government. If we have flu-like symptoms, stay home.
Good advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the $50, it's just another streaming service to compete with Disney and Hulu and everyone else. So what they're effectively doing is turning streaming services into the new cable TV.
Yeah.
What happened to cable TV after a time?
Yeah, it's on its way out. It's always been, man.
Yeah, no one wants it.
Mm-mm.
Now, to the next story, which is Google pulls the latest Android update for AT&T Pixel 4 devices. Have you ever owned an Android, or not an Android phone, a Google phone?
I had the G2, one of the first ones that came out, G1, G2.
What was the thing you loved about that phone?
I don't know. Back in the day, it was cool because it had a screen, and then the screen would slide up, and then the buttons were behind it. It's like a full keyboard.
But I'm talking about the experience, the software.
It was intuitive. Yeah, it was intuitive. It was nice.
And it probably didn't have.
It was open source. You couldn't. You could do whatever you wanted with it, more or less.
It probably didn't have bloatware either.
No, back then, no. Now phones are riddled with the shit.
But that's the thing. And I had a Nexus 6.
Yeah, Nexus. Yeah, they were great phones, Nexus.
Yeah, that was made by LG. I love the fuck out of that phone. I love that thing. I wish it hadn't have broken.
Yeah.
Because I love the fuck out of that phone. It was great. It was just the stock Android experience. No bloatware. No, I had to go get Facebook.
Yeah.
It wasn't already on the phone. And then there's apps that you can't remove or even disable. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, you can do it. You just have to root the phone.
Well, and without going to that, I'm talking about by default. You can't easily just go in and remove stuff that you don't want. You actually have to, like you say, you have to root the phone. You have to give it super user access. Mm-hmm. But that, to the same token, does come with some consequences because, like, some banking software won't run. They'll notice that your phone's rooted, and they say, we ain't running on this.
Right.
And that's for your security as much
Right.
as theirs. But the reason that they stopped is because it was released before it was supposed to be released, before it was actually scheduled to be released. And my opinion was like, if I was one of the ones that read this story that had, one of the Pixel 4 phones, and, because it was on the store, not on the store, but on Google's site, and, it was there, and I wasn't able to get it, I'd be like, where am I pirating this thing from?
Right.
Because it's legit, but because I'd want to run the newest. I'm one of these guys that I'm a firm advocate for updating. How well are you into? You just started your Twitter not that long ago.
Yeah, it's brand new, pretty much. About a month under my belt.
All right. How are you liking it?
It's easy to use, but I don't get it.
Well, before I started the stream, I went to my Twitch and I put out a message. I don't know if you saw it or not. That we were starting at 8-ish. Come.
Yeah.
Come watch. Come on. Well, the CEO of Twitter is Jack Dorsey, but he's under attack by an activist hedge fund investor. Now, the guy, he's one of these guys. I worked for a guy who was a hedge fund. That's how he made his money, was through hedge funds.
Right.
And these guys want money. Well, guess what? Twitter's not profitable.
And that hasn't been. That's been like in the news. They don't make any money.
And I get it, but to the same token, he's the I don't see that I don't see that Dorsey's the problem. I see, because this guy's, pushing like, hey, we need to be profitable. Yeah, you do, but there can be a place where you make a little bit of money, because these hedge fund guys, they tend to push like, we need to make $20 trillion.
Yeah, they want their 20% minimum.
Right. Well, fortunately for Dorsey, he's got Elon Musk on his side, is vowing to support Twitter boss Jack Dorsey against the activist hedge fund trying to oust him. Well, and here's the thing: this guy who's the activist hedge fund guy.
Well, Elon's been through it, so he knows how it feels.
Yeah, he owns. Guess what percentage of the company he owns?
Don't know. 5%?
Yeah, a whopping 5% of the company. Because that's in the second article. Well, actually, I digress. Nearly 5%.
So less than 5%.
Less than 5%.
So there's going to be a shit ton of shareholders then.
Yep.
If he's the majority to be the CEO. Huh.
Well, and we kind of touched on this, and now we're going to get, because that was an Apple story where this is a Clearview story. This is the second part. Clearview's facial recognition app has been used by the Justice Department, ICE. Okay, those are law enforcement agencies, right?
Right.
Last time I checked, though, Macy's, Walmart, and the NBA aren't. Neither is Best Buy. Neither is... where'd it go? There's a list.
Well, maybe they're using that for shoplifters? I mean, it would make sense.
No, but Home Depot, Lowe's. I know I've read this earlier.
I would imagine that's what they would use it for. Run their cameras, check facial recognition to see if there's any known shoplifters in the store. Then they just keep an eye on those people.
Well, what it is, and there's more, retailers,
Mm-hmm.
and even some hotel chains. They're on this list, and a casino. All right. What this is when you dig a little deeper into it, is Clearview has a free trial, and that's what they were
I'm
using.
part of.
They were using the free trial. So to get to the free trial, you have to register, and then they put you in this client list. Is what I could figure for Clearview, even though you're actually really not so much a client as you're trying the software. And in some instances, it was a matter of people were using it, using their credentials for where they work
Right.
to try it out without the company knowing.
Hmm.
So we know that. Well, how does that strike your fancy? What do you think? What if you think? What would you think if all these the department stores were to put this stuff, in?
It's a catch-22. I mean, I hate the evasion of privacy. I like to think innocent until proven guilty, but at the same time, I hate a thief.
And that's the thing, is if this database only had thieves in it,
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely agree with you. I'm pointing actually at you, so
You're good.
I would absolutely agree with you. But if I go to Walmart or Sam's Club or wherever, walk into the place, and I'm buying hamburger, I don't want some AI. I don't mind the in-store cameras. I don't mind them at all. That's to deter thieves. I get that. That's fine. I worked for...
To keep honest people honest.
Exactly. I get that. But now the store, with facial recognition, could say, okay, he's buying hamburger. We should send him a thing for this product and this product and this product and this product.
And that's probably, in the end, what it's all about. Mass marketing.
Guess what I'm going to stop doing?
Go to the stores.
I stopped doing, you start, or, coronavirus, I'm going to wear a face mask everywhere. And everybody rags on, this is the Orwellian or dystopian society. Well, guess who's bringing it to you? It ain't the government. It's
corporate America.
It's corporate America. And that's what, like, you can tell that's what gets my blood pressure up. I'm 52. I'll be 53 this year, so this is going to be Talking Tech with Todd and whoever he picks. But speaking of big companies that love your data, Facebook gives the World Health Organization, not the band, free ads to cut down coronavirus misinformation. How does that strike you?
I much rather like the ads that floated around that told people if they drink bleach, it would cure the virus.
You would. You're just a masochist. You would.
Darwinism, man.
Badger says it's getting some buffer issues. We're green.
Yeah, not on my end. I'm watching it live. Not buffering for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've had that on your stream. I've been watching. You don't know I'm watching. I'm watching. I don't always talk. Sometimes I'm watching when I'm asleep. So there's that. So, or I'll watch. I'll fall asleep. That happens. But there's times you'll buffer, and that's got to be a Twitch problem.
Yeah, it might be, but I stream in the highest quality I possibly can too, so it could just be communication errors between the device you're using or data drops along the way.
I've watched a couple of your VODs. No, well, even some of your streams. You said, do you know sometimes you broadcast? I don't know if it's all the time because I don't check all the time, but there's times you're broadcasting in 720.
It automatically sets it up. Might just be dependent on how good my internet is that night.
No, the constant stream is all 720 at 60.
Yeah, no, it's always set the same. I had it set to the highest, and if it could just be Twitch.
Because what I do, I hate to tell Twitch this, but as long as I've been streaming on Twitch, I've always streamed at 1080. Always. It's because I force 1080. You can force it. Shh. But there's a way you force it. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Cue me in.
But, I think it's... Here, and here's the thing that I find about this article. World organizations like the World Health Organization, they're the last. I'd have to say they're one of the first ones to get the information, but they're slow to release it. And I could understand why, is if they want to have confirmation that this was a case of the coronavirus, not a case of the flu, because they can be, the symptoms are similar from what I understand. And both could kill you. I mean,
sure.
Typically the flu has a mortality rate of 0.96 or 98%. Well, right now the coronavirus is 2%, which is why I think, this is no different than what was it called? The swine flu?
Right.
That was how many years ago?
Couldn't tell you. I don't panic when I hear about shit like this. It's just another.
Yeah, I mean it was 3-4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Because work bought us a bunch of the. Well, that's not it. That's a real good thing to be doing here. The pump bottles, the sanitizer. So they said, use this often, use it a lot,
Yeah.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was great that they did that. But, and that's something that, that's good practice year round. But you're not a very religious boy, are you?
Nope.
Okay. When you were growing up, did your parents bring you to church?
I was forced to go to Catholic CCD classes on the weekends, stuff like that.
Okay. Are you a confirmed Catholic? Do you know what that means?
No, they ousted me.
They saw the horns and said, "Get this demon child out."
Yeah, I believe it was when I burst into flames and I walked in the door. It was probably a giveaway.
Well, I'm a confirmed Catholic. I was forced to go to Catholic. So that says, we're, all raised with certain religious beliefs, but that may or may not hold for the rest of your life. And that's just the way people are. We're not going to get into religion, except for this article. Love that segue. The Vatican joins IBM Microsoft to call for facial recognition regulation.
Yeah, man.
Does that make you all warm and fuzzy inside?
Not really. They don't want to be caught hanging around the foster homes.
But I just thought it was neat that the Pope came out and said, that this stuff needs to be reined in. So I threw that one in, and this is no jab to anybody who has religious beliefs at all. That's not our intent at all. Might be his though.
Nah, my kids go to church every Sunday. I just opt out.
What kind of church? What?
It's Christian Baptist.
So
church I was married in.
So they get the exercise because the Baptist part.
I guess.
Okay, they get the same exercise in the Catholic Church, but in the Baptist Church, they make them jump out in miles.
My mother-in-law is still trying to save me. I get invited every Sunday. Every Sunday I say, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm fine, Mom.
My relationship with God is of my own,
And
Do I believe in a higher power? Absolutely. I don't need to go to church for that.
So take me to church. I don't remember the rest of that song.
Save me from church.
But when you installed Windows, have you installed Windows 10 on any of your machines, or did
Hell no. No, they all came
pre-installed?
Yeah.
Well, when you were going, you still had to go through the setup process, right?
Yeah, it's just to walk in, speak English, you know.
Well, yeah.
What do you want this machine to call you? I want you to call me Daddy. That's it.
Okay.
That's the setup.
You need religion, my man. So when you got to the point where it asked you, did you have to get? Look in the chat.
What's up, Ray? Daddy?
That was perfect, Ray Ray. That was great.
Impeccable timing.
Oh yeah, hey. But when you're setting it up, you got to a prompt that said, do you want to sign in with Microsoft, or do you want to create?
Yeah, I think I signed in on this machine as Microsoft, but the last one I don't believe I did.
Well, guess what? Microsoft wants to do away with Windows 10 local accounts. So now what you have to do, when you're setting up your Windows, you're going to get to this screen. And like right now, currently, you'd see it says offline account, right?
Yeah.
Well, eventually, what's going to happen, it's going to detect an internet connection. Guess what happens to that offline account button?
It disappears.
So what you're going to have to do is unplug the internet, Ethernet cord, until you get to the sign in with Microsoft screen. It'll automatically create a local account then, because it doesn't detect it's got an Ethernet or an internet connection.
Yeah.
So that you could create a local account and not have to go through Microsoft crap.
Yeah.
They just make it a little harder. Now,
screw you, Microsoft.
Well, if you might worked for Microsoft, let's say you did. Pager, call me Rick James, bitch.
My name's Rick James.
Oh, that's funny. But if you worked for Microsoft, got a good job with them, would you find ways to really screw with them?
No.
Jury,
I don't live that kind of life.
You what?
I don't live that kind of life.
Well, jury convicts an ex-Microsoft worker in digital currency scheme. Now, what this guy did is it's wire fraud. He would buy or he would acquire gift cards from Microsoft and redeem them for Bitcoin. When they caught him, now guess what? He's going to be sitting in jail. Unreal. Dumb. Now, I included this next story. Just look at it. Tell me why I included it. It has nothing to do with the headline.
I'm not sure, but that guy looks like he's on something.
That's exactly why I included it. Reddit CEO, TikTok is fundamentally parasitic.
I agree with him.
I don't disagree with him, but essentially what TikTok said was, okay, prove it. But to the same token, it's just like that snapshot of his face.
Why don't you just get all the clips from Facebook advertising from the past 4 or 5 years? That's parasitic enough for me.
Yeah. But the expression on his face, I don't know. That was a snapshot from where he was saying what he was. That they're horrible. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Who ain't? They're scraping your data. Who ain't? But I just thought the expression on his face was golden.
Yeah, it was a pretty good picture. They caught him in a good time.
Yeah, it's all it says is that his exact quote is, maybe I'm going to regret this, but I can't even get to that level of thinking with them because I look at that app and it's fundamentally parasitic, that it's always listening. The fingerprinting technology they use is truly terrifying, and I couldn't bring myself to install the app on my phone. And he also says, I actively tell people don't install that spyware on your phone. That's
Right.
what he said. Well, TikTok came back. A spokesman from TikTok said, these are baseless accusations made without a shred of evidence.
Right.
Really? Really?
That's
Bueller?
crazy.
Why do you think the government doesn't want anyone using their app?
Yeah.
Okay, that tells me lots. Now, who do you think would be a competitor to Amazon?
Well, UPS, pretty much anybody shipping anything.
Walmart?
They got the money. They could.
Walmart is quietly working on a Amazon Prime competitor called, wait for it, Walmart Plus.
Oh, Jesus.
Which sounds better, Prime or Plus?
I like Amazon Prime better.
Yeah. And that was the thing about I don't think we would be talking about Amazon nearly as much if they had not created Amazon Prime.
Nah, they still had their hand in everything.
But you had, with Amazon Prime, you pay a little bit every month. You get videos, music, and free, 2-day shipping on anything you buy. But the key part is that 2-day shipping. If they were to say have Amazon Prime without that 2-day shipping, where it's just video and music,
it wouldn't have sold. The only reason why I ever had Prime was because I was buying something and I needed it shipped and it said it was going to be free. The funny part was it wasn't for that order, fuckers.
Well, you have to go through an Amazon Prime retailer or whatever. But Walmart
That's not spelled out for you when they're trying to sell it to you. Fucking scumbags.
Yeah. But they tried to do this 2 years ago, which they did, and it failed. But they're going to try it again.
It all depends on how intuitive the website is that they designed for it.
Well, I will say I've used.
Essentially, if it's not easy to navigate, then it's not going anywhere.
I've used
like
both.
Twitch. Twitch needs to do some stuff here because there's not enough content to browse while you're offline. So what do people do? They go to YouTube.
Oh, and Badger says it right in the comments, and the free Twitch Prime as well.
Yeah, Twitch Prime sub's cool.
Yep.
But the shipping thing, yeah.
The shipping thing is what really made it big for Amazon.
Yeah. I'd say 90% of people that have Amazon Prime probably don't even watch Twitch.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think I would have to say about the same thing about the video and the music. I don't think they even know that Amazon offers that with Prime.
Right. Yeah, I didn't. I had no idea.
Yeah, they do. I like if you have a smart TV or if you have like a Roku or.
No, I have a dumb TV.
Well, if you get like a little Roku box or a little, Apple box, whatever, Google box, you just download the app. Amazon Video, you use your sign-in credentials, and you can see all the videos that Amazon offers for free.
Okay.
And, it turns your dumb TV into a smart TV.
I'm good with my dumb TV. It's not listening to me. I'm listening to it.
Well, like Roku doesn't have a microphone, so you actually have to use the remote. So get a Roku, and they're like $30.
Yeah, don't need it. I don't sit in front of it. I got a PlayStation hooked up to it. Smart enough. Kids watch Netflix.
Smarter.
They don't even use the PlayStation to game. They just watch Netflix. That's it. That's all that PS3 does anymore.
Get the NVIDIA. They do 4K.
Yeah.
Then we have now WeChat is an app. It's very popular.
Is that a Facebook owned thing?
No, that's owned by Tencent. You're thinking of it's the other one, but that one is owned by Facebook.
Okay.
What's the other one? Not Messenger. WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay,
WhatsApp.
close enough.
Okay.
WeChat, WhatsApp, they all sound the same to me.
And on YouTube, I watch.
Tencent, yeah, that's China.
Yep. I watch a YouTuber. He's called Stranger Park, and he travels through Asia. He lives in China. He's in the United States now. Has been for quite some time.
Send him back. He's got corona.
No, he left before that started. But like he'll go to factories and that stuff, and you can watch them making products and stuff in China, and it's really cool. He's a real cool YouTuber.
Right.
I would have to say that let your kids watch him because he is family friendly. But when he goes, like, he made his own iPhone from parts that he bought from the marketplace in China.
Right.
And a lot of the ways that you pay for stuff in China is through WeChat. So it's not just chatting, but it's
like a Venmo or a PayPal or with like a user interface for social media.
Well, it's like if you took WhatsApp and Vimo and put them together into one app.
Gotcha.
All right. And now WeChat has been censoring keywords about the coronavirus, a study finds. And that's primarily a lot of the way the Chinese people use that app is to communicate with each other and even pay for goods and services. So that to me is kind of like, now we have to find something else.
I find it ironic though. I mean, what was it? They were protesting in the streets for democracy, and then all of a sudden, in comes Corona. No more protests in the streets for democracy.
Well, you're thinking of Hong Kong?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Hong Kong. But there might be an alternative, but I don't think it's got a pay component to it. The EU Commission to Staff switch to Signal messaging app. Now, sorry about that. Sorry, guys and ladies. The difference between this and the other apps is this is open source. So it's not like WhatsApp. It's not like, what did we just talk about? WeChat. This is something that's open source. So there's potentially, I'm certain of it, but I'm going to use that word anyway. No man in the middle.
Right.
So that you can, it is encrypted end to end, and it just goes from your device to the other device.
The other device, yeah.
And you don't, it's not like the man in the middle that like Facebook that can decrypt it and interpret it.
Right.
So that actually may be a good decision by the EU. We'll give them. Give them one, huh?
Maybe
one. Give them one.
Till we read next week that it's been hacked.
Welcome to 2020.
Yep.
But onward and upward. The suckers list how Allstate's secret auto insurance algorithm squeezes big spenders. Did you get to look into this one at all?
No.
Okay, how shitty is this? Allstate. Now, Allstate used to be owned by Sears. They're still headquartered in the same building as Sears, for what's left of Sears. But their algorithm is so crap that drivers that should have been getting like a big discount because they drive very safely were getting a small discount. Right. And it's not just based on your driving habits, it's also based on your income. So, like, my advice to you is don't put on Facebook when you get a new job.
Right.
Especially if it pays you more money, because Allstate may buy that information from Facebook and say,
right.
He got a raise. And guess what the algorithm's going to do?
Raise your premium. Yeah.
Yep.
That's stupid.
Well, there was it was a radio show, and I forget when it was broadcast. I want to say it was the 90s, but it was an example of an Orwellian society. And the guy simply calls a pizza place and says, hey, I'd like to order a pizza. Well, he's then interrupted by his health insurance company that says, whoa, you sure that's your third pizza this week? We're going to raise your rates if you continue with this order. And then it was drawn out and lengthy, so it was more than just that the health insurance company automatically became a part of the call. It was warning this guy, you got diabetes, dude. You shouldn't be having, and it goes on and on. And I was like, that's what this reminded me of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is what that reminded me of. It's like
nobody's gonna tell me how many pizzas I can eat. Fuck them.
Well, we're gonna raise your healthcare insurance.
I'll just stop paying it.
Well, I don't
see how that works out for them.
Imagine the implications with the American private health.
All the pizzas.
Yeah. There we go. All the pizzas.
All the pizzas. Extra grease.
Actually, the way Ray Ray talks about her sandwiches, that she usually has a sandwich at some point in time. I'm like, I just want a Ray Ray sandwich. I don't care what it is. I want a Ray Ray because they always.
Tonight, maybe I get lucky and get a stromboli again. That'd be good. What the hell's a stromboli? I guess you guys know it as a calzone. It's just twice the size.
Oh,
no ricotta.
No
ricotta.
Yeah, it sounds good right now.
Pizza day keeps the doctors away.
Absolutely.
Eat a lot of pizza around here.
Now, we talked about Peloton. And I thought at one point that you said that you had one, but you have a treadmill, not a Peloton.
Fuck no. I don't even walk on that bitch.
So
it's a clothes hanger.
So you would have never been interested in this flywheel.
Not that piece of shit, especially the fact that, again, we're back into the same conversation with buying shit that ends up not being supported anymore and then it's useless.
And that's now this is exactly that, because the nice thing is these people who are flywheel owners, because flywheel violated Peloton's patent. You could trade in your old bike and they'll give you a refurbished Peloton, or it's just a brick. That's your choice.
It was some of that. I actually did read this one, and I think it was they couldn't get in touch with the companies. All the people that were using it are left in the dark. All kinds of stuff. Like, people knew that the lawsuit was going on, but they didn't realize the company was just going to go out and close down.
Yeah. So I mean, at least I was kind of glad to hear that they're going to try and offer them something.
Yeah. Well, I think what was up in the air was people that finance through a firm.
Yeah.
Don't know how that's going to work.
So
technically they're not paid for. So.
Yeah, that's going to be. Those people are probably going to be SOL.
Probably.
Now, have you ever done folding at home? Do you know what that is?
Huh? That answer your question?
Okay. Well, scientists need your computing power to find a cure for the coronavirus. And this is, as far as I've known, this is this is trusted, and it's not just trusted meaning, a couple years. I'm talking about like maybe the last 5 or 10 years. Okay, what it does is
Folding and SETI. That was the Star Search thing, right?
SETI was the Starchers thing, which they just discontinued.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't put in the for us to talk about, but
Is all this like all voluntary, or do they like pay you for the use of your
no,
hardware?
it's voluntary.
Fuck them.
It is voluntary, but any computing power that you're not using, or when you're not using your computer, you run this folding at home, and it helps them to discover a cure for the coronavirus.
Nah, bring on Corona. Not using my computer. It's too expensive.
Speaking of which, I haven't seen you break out one yet.
What? Corona?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any. Drank them all last night.
Ah. You got to have one for the show. You got to hold one back next time.
Nah, last night I was like, you know what? I'm drinking them all. Fuck it.
Now, how would you like to be an Uber or a Lyft driver right now?
I wouldn't. That sounds like a nightmare.
Well,
I did see like a picture of a guy where he's driving and he had like plastic with like yellow caution tape stuck to around the windows. Like, yeah, that's gonna do hell of a lot for you, buddy. You still got the vents. You're breathing the same air regardless.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was leading to. You nailed that one. Uber, Lyft issue coronavirus warnings, but some drivers felt left in a lurch. Many drivers have tackled this issue by spraying Lysol between rides, which makes sense, wearing masks, and constructing plastic barriers around their seats. But like you say, the way this guy did this,
pissing into the wind, man.
I mean, that was just comical. The way that big old gap, like that's gonna really be infected.
Yeah, the one guy had like PVC pipe. He really went all out to make this little cage for himself. I heard the best method is just put a plastic bag over your head, tie it in a knot, save you.
You know, you're the reason why
make sure it's airtight. Airtight.
You know what? You're the reason why there's warnings on bags now.
Because there's somebody out there that will believe it.
Yeah. Oh, the material I get to work with. All right. Now, if you ran a website, how pissed would you be at this next story? U.S. Homeland Security mistakenly seizes British ad agency's website in prostitution probe gone wrong. They got it back after reneging any claim against Uncle Sam for damages. In other words, the FBI, or the Department of Homeland Security, seized their domain. And, I'm showing it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you went to their site, this is what you saw. So if you're a client and they had client logins, those were seized too. How apt are you going to be to trust this ad agency in the future?
You're not.
You're exactly. How many clients?
They put them out of business, which is why they said if you want it back.
Yeah, and now they said if you want it back,
you can't. Yeah, you can't come after us.
Exactly. And while it might be argued that an agency is a form of prostitution, it's, not the actual.
Eye of the beholder.
Not the actual thing. But with that virus going around, how are you, how much of a germaphobe are you about your phone?
Not.
So this clean phone, happy phone, get a UV sanitizer for $60 or less. Prices are going up, though.
Can you just leave it out in the sun?
Well, that's the thing. I've never really bought into what exactly does UV kill. Because though you may not see the sun, clouds and, it's it's what passes for winter nowadays around here. which gets pretty cloudy, but
Well, shit. Spend another $200-300, buy a tanning bed, then you can get a tan while you're at it.
there you go. Yeah, just bring that in with you on your phone. But it was funny because one product was $40 last night, and then 53 when I woke up this morning.
That's people. That's people.
I still don't know that I buy into the UV kills. I mean, I maybe it kills some type of things, but I don't think it kills everything.
We're still walking around.
Knock on wood. And for those who don't, I'm on a big wooden desk. But how would you buy your wife this?
Does it vibrate?
No.
No.
Activate this bracelet of silence, and Alexa can't eavesdrop. Look how fashionable it is.
Why the fuck did they have to make it that big?
Ray, who is a woman, says, what the fuck?
Yeah, it is ugly.
Yeah, I mean, you get this big honker of a thing on you, and you can look at it. It looks like it has microphones on it, but it's speakers that emit a high frequency sound waves so that we can't hear it, but the speakers hear it, and it effectively makes it so they can't hear you. Oh, that's a nice bracelet. What is it? Never mind. Don't look at it.
That's funny.
I mean,
people will buy it. I don't know how many people, but people will buy it.
You know what? I don't have a problem with people buying it, but does it have to be that ugly? I think it's the real point. I mean, if it isn't,
it was probably designed in Silicon Valley, man.
But it's painfully obvious. It's not. It is a fashion statement, like Ray says. It's like, come on. Now, you used to smoke, right?
Yeah, I still kind of do. Technically.
Well, you went to the vaping.
Yep.
But next, I am not by any means encouraging you to do this. This is not what this is, even though General is more than of age. Okay? Your next lighter, why not a plasma lighter? It's better than butane.
Plasma?
Yeah. And before, this used to be a video.
I own one of those.
It's
just an electric arc, isn't it?
Well, it looks more like lightning because it
looks like a taser.
It looks like except
I got one. Yeah, I got one.
Constantly, except it goes in a cross.
Yeah. There's two probes on either side of it, and it. Yeah.
Yeah. All you have to do is charge it.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
And you're good to go. This one it arcs like in an X for whatever reason. It was pretty funky when I watched it.
Yeah.
But I just thought, and this is a Kickstarter.
Somebody should inform them. They already exist.
Well, maybe they're not as fashionable as this. It certainly looks better than that bracelet we were looking at.
Yeah, no, I've got one. It's black. I don't know where it is. It's probably in a coat somewhere.
Now, how...
USB charger on the bottom of it?
Yep.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh, okay. Ray said it, or I'm sorry. Badger says it played for him. I refreshed page 3 times. It still didn't play for me. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. But you know what? It could be because I use Brave for the show. So, yeah.
It's awfully brave of you.
Well, it's on this one web page alone that I have pulled up here. On this web page alone, and I've kind of ruined my segue into this, but I'm going to show this. 41 items blocked from CNN Business. Cross-site trackers blocked 41.
Jesus.
Yeah. Now, do you wonder why I'm using Brave?
Yeah.
Okay. But I was going to lead into this by saying, how much are you looking forward to your son and daughter having a driver's license?
I'm not.
But guess what? This tiny car that looks like a washing machine costs $6,600. It's from France.
All right, no, keep it there.
It's an electric car. It goes 28 miles an hour.
That's as fast as it goes?
Yes.
Fuck that. I could buy a go-kart for $800. Go faster than that.
It is powered by a 6 kilowatt or an 8 horsepower
get
motor.
The fuck. That's as bad as the little mini cars, the smart car. Get that fucking piece of shit off the screen. Nope. Get it out of here.
But wait.
There's not more. It's literally you fucking put it in your pocket. You don't have to take up parking spaces.
What's missing from this? What don't you see? Especially where we live.
I don't fucking know. What's the car's missing? The engine. Speed.
How about a heater? Or air conditioner?
Yeah. You lost me at 28 miles an hour, alright?
Oh, this is something for your kids, not for you.
I don't give a shit, and whatever my kids are going to drive, going to do at least 100.
And look at this, what passes for a doorknob. Do you see that there?
Yeah. It's all, yeah, no, nope, leave it in France.
You know, the strap that they call a doorknob, and then to have a radio, guess what? You have to put your phone in it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, no. That shit, man. People could use that maybe to fucking go get the fucking trash at the end of the driveway, but then where would you put it?
Now,
even in France.
Now, I gotta find a way. I can't hide it. Darn it. Oh well. How this robot taught itself to walk in just a few hours. Okay, you see it playing there? This is with the amazing thing. I will give it this. That is pretty amazing that it taught itself how to walk like a drunken sailor in a few hours. That was with no human intervention.
And where the hell is it going? Probably to kill itself.
Well, this is Google Robotics.
People put money into this shit?
Google did.
God damn it, Google. Oh, just leave it alone.
Oh, read Ray Ray.
Ray, I'm pretty sure even you can walk better than this. I wonder how much money is behind the R&D of this piece of shit. Like, what?
I'm sure it's probably at least a few million. It's
just because you can doesn't mean you should. I mean, this is so stupid. What? And the people that made this thing probably had the biggest erections. They were so happy to accomplish that. Oh, God.
Badger says 10 plus million, I bet.
Probably.
Now, there's been times I'm sure you've needed a right angle wall outlet, right?
Huh?
A right angle wall outlet. Instead of you plugging it in, having the cord come out, it goes down. So
Yeah.
you could plug it in, so that
Because it's got like a capacitor on the box or something you're talking about, instead of just a regular plug off of a.
No, it just so it changes the angle of the outlet to be vertical instead of horizontal.
No.
Well, you may want
No
to.
use.
All right. Well, so I guess you wouldn't have a use for this $35 gem.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, you put it in the bathroom where it belongs.
Can you smell that? It smells like electricity. The nose wall outlet replaces, or wall outlet places a hilarious huge edge to any outlet in the home by disguising it as an oversized nose that you plug any 120-volt device through.
It's ruined. You just eliminated an extra outlet. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. Like, people designed a nose to remove an outlet to change it so you can
to put a right angle. You know, I do have like a couch that's beside me, and there's an outlet there. And what I did is I do have a right angled cord on the outlet so that I could have the couch like pretty much right up against the wall. So, I mean, I get it, but for $35, and it's a nose that's probably about the size of mine, and I have a pretty big schnoz.
Jesus Christ, help him.
All right.
No, it saves nothing.
No, but it's...
Put it in the bathroom, shove a straw up in there, put some baking soda out. Be the talk of the party.
But...
Roll up dollar bill.
No, to answer your question, no, this is not where we've come. This next story is where we've become as a society. California homeowner scares off thieves with unique water spraying device. Now, I'm going to mute the audio, but I'm going to play this. Maybe I'm not. What the heck? An ad. I didn't get that before. Maybe... refreshing it may make that go away. Oh.
We're just going to have to watch the ad again.
Oh, wait. Look what you see down there. Now you want to know why I use Brave for this. ABC7 wants to install and run Widevine, a Google plugin, a digital rights management. Block. Go jump yourself. Seriously, go jump yourself. Maybe that's why the video isn't going to play. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to have to watch through the ad, guys.
Run, bitch, run!
But, why did that... Give me back that. Stupid tablet. Why did you change to that?
Oh, God, is this a 5-minute commercial?
No, it's 30. 3, 2, 1. But now you better get. You know what? Heck with it. I'm running the audio now. I sat through your commercial.
To fight off thieves, but one Porterville family took it a step further to get the crooks to step away.
Homeowner Josh Camarina fought off an alleged thief.
We've had 4 incidences now.
Over the past year, he has dealt with prowlers targeting his Porterville home.
Someone's came and tried.
So he just set up a sprinkler on a
in
motion.
the back of my truck.
No, it's an actual product that you can buy on Amazon for $60.
At that point, Camarina and his wife decided to install a Ring camera, hoping it would stop the problem.
We thought the light itself would scare them away.
But that security trick was not successful. The crooks were still returning, so Camarina's wife turned to the
Feel bad for the fucking mailman.
and found this unique gadget anything in its line of sight.
The brand is called Orbit Yard Enforcer. It's more for animals, like keeping animals out of your yard.
Within days, it was delivered, and Camarina quickly pieced it together, placing it inside a bucket filled with pea-sized gravel.
This is what detects it, or right here.
The sensor was working properly Monday morning at 4:57.
I guess the Lowe's bucket's not included.
Right.
His sticky fingers
From that point, throughout the whole morning, I couldn't stop laughing. So it kind of just, we both were laughing about it, and yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Porterville police say a number of neighborhoods have experienced these
Wow.
targeting vehicles and other property while people are sleeping.
Okay, we don't need to listen to the police thing. But
No.
how hilarious and innovative is that?
Guy's pretty intelligent.
But look in the chat. Look in the chat. Look in the chat.
I want a water cannon pressure. Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be.
To where it like literally blew his ass off the bicycle. You just find him out there dead the next morning.
But that is all we have for this week. Talking Tech with I'm George, and this is
Todd.
social media. Find me on Twitch.
You guys know me. It's right underneath my face there. General Hemorrhoid on pretty much every platform you can find me on. Even Snapchat. I got Snapchat now.
Oh, yeah. So if you want his premium stat chat,
Snapchat.
where he sends you nudes of actual men with buff bodies.
Flabby man meat all day long. See what a real man looks like.
And if you thought we were second rate, there's, like I said, I up until the show starts, I'm combing. And I'm looking for stuff for us to go with so that we have a good quality show. So now you've got your tech news, and you're good till you see us again next week.
Next week, Wednesday at 8-ish.
8-ish, because one of us is always late.
Yep.
And it's fine. It's fine. Love y'all. Have a good weekend.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.